Welcome back. It is Thursday, February 8th in the NBA. My 5 best bets are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. Another winning day for us. A 3-2 day. Let's talk about it. We added one play after the video. Jalen Johnson is over in points. Sweat free. I said I wanted to make it a 1.5 or 2 unit play. I should have done that, but Jalen had hurt us a couple times this season. We certainly will take the free cash. Zion had a big second half. We appreciate him. Harrison Barnes under 16.5 points in the Sabonis. 5+ assists. SGP. Pretty sweat free. Our two losers really should not have been losers. We should have had a potential 5-0 sweep yesterday. Brandon Miller had 24 points plus rebounds with 5 minutes left to go in the game. Got one shot, and then they got another shot with like a second left where they had to do a fadeaway three falling out of bounds. Just Miles Bridges was chasing 50 points, and the offense just went absolute disaster. Then Victor Wembanyama, just a brutal beat there. He had 21 entering the fourth quarter. Really only got like 2 shots, got to the free throw line, missed both of the free throws. It would have probably ended on the hook if he made either of those, but just a brutal one, man. A 3-2 day, though. I'm not going to complain, but felt like we should have had a much better day. But let's dive in. I might not have an added play today, but there is a chance for an added play. Very unlikely, as a lot of you guys do know, and important news. I'll put it back up on the screen. I'm out of town on my honeymoon starting tomorrow. Actually, we have a flight later on tonight at 5 p.m., so you won't see me in tomorrow's NBA video. Logan's going to handle the fort and hold it down. There is a chance that I'm probably going to help him out with some picks, though, while I'm out there. But either way, Logan's been dialed in the NBA. He'll be able to hold down the fort while I'm gone for just a couple days, as the All-Star break is right around the corner, starting just a week from today. Next Thursday, there's only like 2 games on, and then every team has about a week off. So I will see you guys back on February 22nd when I return. But I'll miss you guys for sure. So thank you for tuning in. Let's hopefully end my little run before the All-Star break with a 5-0 sweep today. Like I said, definitely tune in tomorrow. Logan's going to be dialed in on the NBA. If you know anything about Logan, solo videos for Logan, he's goated. So stay tuned for that. I do want to bring up a couple more reminders. I have a second channel video dropping in a little bit. It's on the second channel just under my name. The link's normally at the end of the video. It's going to be a little bit of behind the scenes and never before seen footage about the ESPN feature and how all that stuff went down. So if you're any bit interested about that, I'll link it down below. It will be posted around 11 a.m. Eastern time on the second channel. I'll definitely link it at the end of this one. And then my last note before we dive into the picks today, obviously you can skip forward if you want, but please don't. There are a bunch of free squares live right now on Sleeper, PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, all of those for, I believe they all got Patrick Mahomes for 1 yard in the Super Bowl. I'm still going to be featured in some Super Bowl videos. We have a couple of them. I've already pre-recorded them. They'll be posted on Friday or Saturday, so you see me then. But if you want to take advantage of those free squares, make sure you use our code COS. You get a match on your first deposit up to $100, and you get those free squares. Details down below. But you guys came in for some NBA picks. I certainly will miss you all. I'll still be posting some pictures and stuff on my Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. But you came in for NBA picks. Let's dive in. Let's dive in the first one, though. It is a guy that a lot of people hate, and he'll be on the thumbnail. Anthony Davis, over 23.5 points, minus 120 on Bet365. Personally, I feel like this line should be 25.5. And if it was 25.5, I'm probably not touching it, but I'd take it at 23.5 or 24.5. I think this is a solid spot to back Anthony Davis. Now, this is a TNT game, and tonight there's a big thing going on in LA. That's at their crypto.com arena or whatever. It's the Kobe Bryant statue unveiling tonight. So they're going to have a big, memorial, or I don't really know exactly what sort of festivity they're going to do, but he's getting a statue outside the stadium next to a bunch of other Laker greats. And I expect the Lakers to show up because they don't want to show up and just absolutely just demoralize everyone after that, crazy iconic kind of night. You got to show up against the Denver Nuggets. And you look at Davis so far this season, he's averaged 24.7 points per game. He averages a little bit over 0.7 more points per game at home. And Davis is over this line in 30 of 48 games, 63%, including 17 of 25, 68% at home. Davis, he's had some bad games this season, sure, but he's also had a lot of good games at home, and that's kind of where I like to back him. I don't really like trusting Davis on the road, but I really like this matchup for him, and I have no idea. I should put a reminder here. The trade deadline is today, so will the Lakers make some moves? Will they trade D'Angelo Russell? I don't really know. I don't see them trading Anthony Davis. If they do, that would be absolutely nuts, and the NBA will lose it. But I think he'll be probably on the team, and obviously if he somehow gets traded, just like anyone else we talk about in this video, their pick will void because they will not play for their new team. But I like this match for AD. You think about the Nuggets and how they have some great defenders. Aaron Gordon probably goes on LeBron. Very tough matchup there. Not sure if Kentavious Caldwell-Pope plays, but if he does, he's going to take away one of the elite guards that the Lakers have. That's probably D'Lo, and as he gets traded, then KCP will go on to Austin Reeves. And AD is going to get Nikola Jokic. Obviously, Jokic, wonderful on the offensive side of the court. not great defensively, and I think that's going to be a matchup that the Lakers have been showing in the previous matchups. Hey, we're going to try to get to AD, let him get cooking, and if you can get Jokic in foul trouble, even better, but it's just a good matchup for Jokic versus Embiid. And the last 5 matchups versus Jokic where AD played at least 20 minutes. He had one game get injured in. He has scored 25, 28, 22, 23, and 17 points. So he is under in the last 3 and only over in 2 of 5, but the field goal attempts are there. 19, 25, 19, 18, and 17 field goal attempts. So you're getting me Anthony Davis with 17 plus field goal attempts. I'll take my chances there. Really didn't get a lot of foul calls and free throw attempts. And I really do think tonight's just a good spot to back him. If you look at AD so far this season, 17 home games where he shot 15 or more times. In those 17 games, he's averaged 28.9 points per game, going over this line at 15 of 17. Last 15 games, Nuggets, 4th most points per game allowed to centers. Look, I just think this is too good of a spot to back Anthony Davis. He typically shows up against the best of the best. I think he has the best matchup that the Lakers have on the court tonight, and I think he'll have his chances there. So I really like it. Wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers get a couple extra calls. I'm not saying, hey, it's going to happen, but hey, don't be surprised. It is the Lakers. It is Kobe Bryant, statue unveiling tonight. Just saying, it could happen. But I really like Anthony Davis regardless of that. Give me his over 23.5 points. So my second pick is a guy that could get traded, or some of his teammates could get traded, and we can get some great CLV on this line, because it is Colin Sexton, over 18.5 points, minus 120 on DraftKings. Who knows if the Utah Jazz will be big sellers at the deadline? They got some pieces that people want. You're thinking about Kelly Olynyk, Jordan Clarkson. They got some other guys that people are going to want. I don't see Sexton being a guy that they trade away. Obviously, they could, but I don't see that happening. If in an ideal world, we can get Sexton on the lineup and we can get Clarkson shipped out of there, that would be ideal for us. They already shipped away Shimon Fontecchio. But let's talk about Sexton, who obviously has been really good over the last 30 games. And the only chance, I think he could get better if Clarkson goes out. But Sexton, last 30 games, he's over this line at 24 of 30, 80%. And he's actually never had back-to-back games where he went under 18.5 points. He did go under in their last game versus OKC. Didn't shoot it too well. Now, what is Sexton great at? Driving to the hoop. He's top 10 in the league in drives into the hoop per game in the last 10 games. That's what he does. Drives to the hoop, gets to the free throw line, or lays it in. And this is a good, solid matchup against the Suns. The Suns have struggled versus players that want to drive to the hoop and score. They really don't have a great perimeter defender. Grayson Allen's solid, but outside of him, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, those guys aren't playing a ton of defense. And so Sexton should be able to get to his spots and start to knock down some shots. And they're going to need his scoring against a very talented Phoenix Suns offense. Last game versus Phoenix, Sexton scored 18 points, 23 minutes. He didn't even start. He was off the bench in that game. Clarkson started, had 22 points. Taylor Horton-Tucker, came off the bench. He had 25. Keontae George also started. I think at the end of the day, Sexton's going to start in this game, and I think he's going to have the usage to get it done. He's coming off 2 games where he shot 40% or worse, which is typically unlike Sexton. Still got over in one of the games, but I would think this is a good spot to back Colin Sexton. We get some great CLV if Clarkson gets traded, but he's still shown the ability to hit the over even if Clarkson's in the lineup. I'm not too worried about it. Clarkson obviously could get dealt. Like I said, 3 p.m. Eastern time is the trade deadline. So I have no idea what happens between now and then. We'll exactly see. Colin Sexton over 18.5 points. Third pick. Let's dive into this guy. Oh, man, people are going to hate this one. Ben Simmons, over 12.5 rebounds plus assists, minus 110 on BetMGM. Now, I like this up to minus 135. Don't love it at 13.5. I would play his individual line 5.5 assists. That's plus money. Don't hate the rebounds, like 7.5, though, which is a lot of rebounds. But I really like Simmons tonight, and I think he's got a good chance of going over this line. Now, I was looking at his PRA line, but I'm not counting on Ben Simmons to score. No chance. In 3 games since Simmons returned, he has had 8 rebounds and 11 assists, 9-5, and 9-7. So easily clearing the line in all 3. Obviously, he's on a minutes restriction, sure, but he's averaged 11.7 rebound chances, most or potential assists, most on the team, and 11 rebound chances, second most on the team behind Claxton. Like I said, he's on a minutes restriction, but that has not stopped him from hitting the over. He's hit this over in the last 3 games. He had 1 game where he only played 14 minutes, still hit the over. And look, this is what he does. He piles up the stat sheet, and they're letting him run the offense, and now he's back on the starting lineup. I think they're going to continue to let him run it. And look, this is his 4th game back. Maybe he sees a couple more minutes. I'm not counting on it. I think he plays 20 minutes tonight. If he plays 25, this is probably sweat-free. But Simmons has played against the Cavaliers only once this year. He hasn't played in a ton of games. That was the first game of the season. 10 rebounds and 9 assists. Played about 23 minutes in that one. So it's not like he played 35 minutes and we're like, oh, we need that again tonight. No, we got it done pretty easily. And it's a Nets team that's very short-handed. They're down Day'Ron Sharpe. He's been out for a while. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's been out a couple games. And now Cam Johnson and Lonnie Walker. All those guys out. The Nets do not have a lot of depth out there. They're going to play Simmons his normal minutes. If he plays a couple extra minutes, awesome. But look, this is just the team that needs playmakers, and Simmons is one of the best playmakers they have. Cam Thomas, you got Mikal Bridges, got Spencer Dinwiddie all surrounding him. You got Claxton as a lob threat. Also, you look at the Cavaliers, a team that is coming in on a back-to-back. Maybe they don't shoot as well. We have more rebound chances out there. I think this is a faster-paced game where we see teams on back-to-backs play a little bit faster because they're like, we don't like playing a lot of defense. And I think this is a higher-scoring game than people probably anticipate. So I'll take Ben Simmons. Give me his over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. I don't mind the PRA line, but give me the rebounds and assists. That's what I'd rather take for Ben Simmons. Now, my last two picks of the day, and like I said, there is a chance that I add a play. Very unlikely, but if they disrespect Big Ragu, I have to do it. It's for the culture. But the Knicks, I don't necessarily know if they'll get lines by the time I'm able to look at them. Brunson is currently questionable. Who knows if he plays? If he doesn't play, I don't know what the heck the Knicks are going to do offensively, but I'm honestly curious what lines they get. So stay tuned. If I add a play, it'll be in the pinned comment right below the ESPN feature link, which I'll put in the pinned comment for if you want to go see, the behind the scenes of that ESPN video. But let's talk about this guy. It is Klay Thompson, under 17.5 points, minus 115 on Caesars. If you're going to fade a pick in the video, this is the one to do it because Klay Thompson and I have not been getting along so far this year. And look, I've made amends with several guys over the last few days. Harrison Barnes, made amends with him. He cashed an under for us. Made amends with Jalen Johnson yesterday. Made amends with Nikola Vucevic a few days ago. So we're making amends with guys that have cost us a good amount of money this season. Klay Thompson's the next one. We need to fade him tonight, under 17.5 points. Like I said, I would take the under at 16.5. Now, if Steph Curry gets ruled out here, I'm going to punch someone because the last time I took a Klay Thompson under, well, Steph Curry did not play. They was ruled out last minute, and they're on a back-to-back. Same thing could happen here. I don't see it happening. Now, last night, Klay acted like I bet his under because he went out there, 18 points, shot 4 of 5 from 3, 80%. That was only the 10th time this season that Klay Thompson has shot above 50% from the three-point line. He's played 46 games, only shot above 50% from 3 10 times. That's terrible. He has not been good this season. And while he could certainly go back-to-back games and shoot above 10 to 50%, could happen. I'm going to take a chance that he probably doesn't get that done. And if you were to just see a Klay Thompson shoot above 50% and just blindly fade him the next game, you'd be pretty profitable. 6-3 so far this season after shooting above 50%, going under 17.5 points. I listed all the points lines, exactly how he ended. Look, he had some close calls there, but he went under in a good majority of those games. And I think he just shoots worse tonight. It's a back-to-back. I don't know if his legs will be under him. I'll take my chances here. Over the last 9 games, Klay Thompson averaged 16 points per game. 5.2 of those 16, 33%, come via catch and shoot three-pointers. Over the last 10 games, the Pacers have given up the 3rd fewest catch and shoot three-pointers made and the 4th fewest catch and shoot three-pointer attempts. This is just not a matchup for three-point shooters. What they do is they say, hey, go drive in and beat us in the lane. We got Miles Turner down there. We'll trust him trying to contest shots, whereas we're not letting you shoot threes. That's their defensive mindset. And if Klay Thompson wants to go in there and bang out on some people, fine. I'll let it happen, but that's not his skill set. We know he wants to shoot threes. And if they're contesting them, it's going to be tough to make them. And if they're obviously not letting him shoot them, not going to get a lot of field goal attempts. This team also got a little bit healthier. Dario Saric back, Moses Moody back, Andrew Wiggins should play here. It's a back-to-back, so who knows? But you look at Klay's other lines. It's under 3.5 threes, minus 180. So heavily juiced on the under. They're saying more often than not, Klay Thompson is making 3 or less threes. This season, when he's made 3 or less threes, which he's done in 27 games, he's under this line in 23 of 27, 85%. He's under a 9 of 11 on the road, and in those 27 games, he averaged 12.9 points per game. Look, Klay Thompson could obviously make a ton of threes tonight. That wouldn't surprise me. It's happened plenty of times. I take his under, he becomes Klay Thompson game 6. That's what he becomes. But I'm just going to bet on the stats here. Not a great matchup for him knocking down shots, and it's back-to-back. They're 6-7 point underdogs on the road against the Pacers team with the rest advantage, and this is the final game of a 5-game road trip. Maybe they lean on the young guys a little bit more. So, look, Klay Thompson, please, we're trying to make amends with you, but we're taking you under. So go out there and clank up every shot, taking us under 17.5 points. And my 5th pick of the day, like I said, might add a play. If it is an added play, it is probably on a New York Knicks. But we'll stay tuned. We need to know Brunson news before we do that. It is going to involve an under in here too. Anthony Edwards, 20-plus points, and it's same game parlayed with Giannis Antetokounmpo under 36.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings. Now, I'll talk about Ant-Man at the end because really the main meat and bones of this one is Giannis's under in points. And I know, when you take an under on a superstar, if you lose, you get 3 million comments, which is just, it's kind of crazy that I could go 4-1. And if this is the one pick that loses, I'll probably get 1,200 comments saying, Austin, you're an idiot. You faded Giannis. Sure, but it's all for one unit. They're all the same. Let's talk about why I don't love Giannis's matchup tonight. Now, his regular under in points is about 33.5. 34.5. Now, as I record this, Damian Lillard is questionable. Chris Middleton is out. Brook Lopez is probable. I have no idea what the Bucks do. They might make some trades tonight. I don't know. So there is a chance that this line goes up and you might be like, oh, I'm getting better value on this. That could happen. If Dame gets ruled out, Giannis's line probably goes to 36.5 or 37.5, at which point I probably just take the under just there and not even bother throwing Ant-Man in here. But let's talk about Giannis. Why are we fading him? The last 3 games, Giannis been playing pretty well. 48, 33, and 34 points. So if you take his regular line at 33.5 or 34.5, he is right on the hook in a couple of those, but under the 36.5 in 2 of 3. He's attempted 28, 15, 24 field goal attempts, as well as 10, 15, and 13 free throw attempts. He has faced the Mavs, Jazz, and Suns. We'll talk about those 3 teams in a second. Sure, Giannis, he's gone, he has the capability to score 40 any given night. We know that. But look at the matchups. Last 10 games, the Jazz, who he's just faced, 9th most points per game in the paint. Mavs, 11th most. Suns, 12th most. Tonight, Giannis gets the T-Wolves, team that allows the 3rd fewest points per game in the paint. We know. What do the T-Wolves do? They have Rudy Gobert down there contesting every shot in the paint. Karl-Anthony Towns clogging up the lane. And they have some really good defenders in Jaden McDaniels and Ant-Man to make life difficult on Giannis. Yeah. I mean, look, if Dame gets ruled out, I like it even more because they're going to have to throw 2 bodies at him and say, you know what? Make someone else beat us. Make the green guy off the bench who stinks. Make him beat us. Make Campaign beat us from 3. They'll live with that. They will, but I don't think they'll let Giannis just go absolutely beast mode in the paint. You look at Giannis's last 6 games versus Rudy Gobert. Obviously, Rudy Gobert, stifle tower, down low in the paint, tough to score in the paint on him. He has scored 30, 35, 29, 25, 30, and 26 points. So under this line, 36.5 in all 6, under his regular line in 5 of 6. The 26 points was the only game he faced Rudy Gobert as a member of the Timberwolves. That was last year in 2022. He went 7 for 17 from the floor, got him into the free throw line 20 times, missed half of them. He still, even if he made half the free throws, more free throws, still would have went under this line pretty easily. Tonight, we're not getting Greek Freak. I know it sucks, but I just don't love this matchup for him. Obviously, Giannis is capable of scoring 37, but I'll take my chances here throwing him in the same game parlay for under 36.5 points, throwing it with obviously Ant-Man to score 20 points. I'm not going to touch on Ant-Man a ton. I just like him a ton tonight. He has had 24 plus points in 5 straight versus the Bucks. They're on the road. They probably need him to score more. Karl-Anthony Towns could get into foul trouble if he's guarding Giannis. I don't know who the heck they have guard him, but Edwards has been turning it on 7 of the last 8 with 20 plus points. And we've talked about it time and time again. The Bucks can't defend guards. So there you go. That's my 5th pick of the day. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. If I do add a 6th pick, which is unlikely because I don't know if we'll get Brunson news early in the day, it will be linked in the pinned comment. You'll be able to see an added play. It might be on the Knicks. It's probably the only team I will look at props for because I got a lot of things to get ready for and pack for my New Zealand trip. Again, I saw all your kind comments. I appreciate you guys. I certainly will miss you. I'll still be doing some behind the scenes work while Logan's doing a lot of on-camera work, but I'll still be helping him out behind the scenes. So the NBA picks are still going to hopefully stay dialed into the All-Star break, which is less than a week. Enjoy the trade deadline. Hopefully your team trades for some players, or if you want your team to tank, hopefully they trade away some players and play some young guys. And of course, if you want to go check out the behind the scenes of that ESPN feature, which was such a cool opportunity, it's a really cool, never before seen footage. It's on the second channel when it is live at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll link the video somewhere up on the screen. My Super Bowl videos will be live out on Saturday. We have a best bets video, which is already the picks were already posted to the DubClub. And we have our parlays video. We did some long shot parlays. Both those videos posted on Saturday in preparation for the Super Bowl. You guys have a wonderful time. I certainly will miss all of you, but I will be back. You'll see me on camera, and on Call on our Shot. You'll see me on the Super Bowl videos, but in the NBA, you won't see me back until this 22nd, I believe, which is in about 2 weeks. So I'll miss you guys. I'll be posting a lot of pictures on my Instagram and on Twitter. So definitely take advantage. If you want to follow me there and see exactly what I'm doing in New Zealand, you can. We'll be filming it as well for the second channel. But like I said, go check out the ESPN feature when it is live. I put a lot of work into the video, and I think it's going to come out pretty well. It'll be posted at 11 a.m. Eastern. You guys have a wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Austin, signing out. Peace.